Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to get into something really interesting, a whole philosophy for writing that actually connects with people, builds trust, and, really persuades. It's about getting beyond the same old tips and tricks. But hey, before we jump in, if you enjoy these kinds of deep dives, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It honestly helps us out a ton and means we can keep making more of these explainers for you. Okay, so let's get right into it with this killer quote from author Pyotr Panda. He's got this idea that modern copywriting has basically turned into a factory floor. We're not creators anymore, we're just assemblers on a conveyor belt, piecing together the same tired, formulaic text again and again. And that, right there, has created a huge problem. This constant flood of generic, templated stuff has totally shattered the trust between what we read and who we are. You know the feeling, right? We've all seen it, and our brains are now trained to just scroll right past it. So here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you have the perfect sales formula or a massive advertising budget. None of it works if the text itself doesn't make someone feel a real sense of connection and trust. Without that, your message is just more noise. So what's the way out? How do we get off this conveyor belt? Well, it's a whole new way of thinking called persuasive positive copywriting. And the main goal here is to stop assembling and start building. What are we building? A psychological bridge of trust that goes directly from you to your audience. Okay, so if we're going to build this bridge, we need a solid foundation, right? And that foundation starts by asking 4 incredibly simple but totally essential questions before you even think about writing a single word. And here they are, the 4 pillars of real persuasion. You have to think about these every single time. 1, from whom is this message coming? 2, to whom is it actually for? 3, what specifically needs to be communicated? And 4, how is the best way to say it? Now, just to see how powerful these are, let's take a look at that first question. Think about it. If you see an article from Apple in a huge publication like Forbes, you automatically give it some level of trust, right? But what about a message from some unknown brand called Jack's Extra in a tiny local paper? I mean, they have a massive uphill battle just to get you to pay attention, let alone believe them. The source changes everything. So, once you've got that foundation figured out, the next level of understanding is all about the core dynamic of how we, as humans, make decisions. It's this constant dance between our emotions and our logic. And this is a really key insight from Panda. We all like to think of ourselves as these super rational, logical creatures. But the truth? Almost every single decision we make starts with an emotion. We feel something first, and only then does our logical brain scramble to find a way to justify that feeling. It's just how we're wired. So this little dance leads to 3 possible outcomes when somebody reads what you've written. Worst case scenario, you don't spark any emotion, and they just ignore it completely. The most common one is a battle royale between their heart and their head. But the ideal persuasive outcome, the one we're really aiming for, is a perfect partnership. You create an emotional hook that is instantly backed up and validated by clear, simple logic. Okay, so that's the goal, a perfect partnership. But how do you actually do that with your writing? Well, it all comes down to the 4 key ingredients of the persuasive positive style. This is all about how you shape your language to make that connection happen. First on the list, simplicity. Look, your goal is not to impress people with big words, it's to be understood. There's even research showing that the easier our brain can process something, the more positive we feel about it. It's that simple. So write like you're having a conversation. Pillar number 2 is concreteness. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? Saying we have many collections is just fluffy marketing speak. It means nothing. But we offer 47 series across 3 price segments. Now that's a hard fact. Specific numbers and details, that's what builds credibility and gives that logical brain of ours something real to chew on. Third up is positivity. Let's be real, we are swimming in a sea of negativity and fear-based messaging every single day. So a message that's positive or funny or complimentary, it stands out like a beacon. It's powerful precisely because it's so rare. It lowers people's defenses and makes them feel like you're on their team, making them way more open to what you're saying. And finally, this one is non-negotiable. You have to demonstrate expertise. You have to answer the reader's unspoken question, why should I listen to you? Don't just say you're a leader, prove it. Show them the awards, the years in the trenches, the specific things you've accomplished. In a world this noisy, people only trust those who've truly earned the right to speak. So when you bring all of this together, the 4 questions, that emotion logic dance, and these 4 pillars of style, something really fundamental changes. It's not just a new tactic, it's a completely different way of approaching the very act of writing. You're not just an assembler on the conveyor belt anymore, mindlessly clicking together parts from a worn-out blueprint. You become a true creator. You become an architect, designing a message specifically built to create understanding and persuasion for a very specific audience. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you sit down to write, ask yourself, are you just grabbing a blueprint off the shelf and assembling the same old thing? Or are you taking the time to actually build a genuine bridge of trust to your reader? All right, that's it for this explainer. I really hope you found it valuable. If you did, please support the channel with a quick like and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.